Partly in reaction to the events of 2011, many new products and technologies related to disaster preparation and recovery have filled the market. Today, Brian Hughes highlights some of them at the Disaster Technology Expo in Tokyo.
Hello. Japan is well known as a disaster hotspot, particularly earthquakes. And the damage they cause can have significant long-term effects. They cause damage to property, but they can also make recovery difficult because of disruptions to utilities. So disaster prevention is something taken very seriously here. And it's particularly important and something that we can't afford to forget here in the Tokyo area, which is overdue for a major event. Something I can't afford to forget either since I live here. And the Disaster Prevention Technology Expo is the best place to find ways to help us prepare, as well as make recovery efforts faster and more effective. So let's go on in and take a look.
This exhibition is all about the nuts and bolts technical solutions that are the backbone of earthquake safety. But there are also a number of genre-defying products and services that, while perhaps unexpected, offer their own unique contributions to disaster prevention. Known as a world-class tire maker, this firm also has a hand in earthquake countermeasures. Designed to be installed under the foundation of a building, dampers help absorb the vibration from earthquakes. This version of the system has a solid core, which gives it increased damping capabilities. In a recent refit, 352 of the dampers were installed under Tokyo Station. Though not to scale, this model illustrates how the system can prevent damage, preserving this important cultural icon well into the future. This special truck was set up to allow visitors to see just how effective the dampers can be. This is what the 2011 Tohoku earthquake would feel like in an ordinary building constructed to Japan's strict codes. Now, here's what it would be like in the same building with the dampers installed. The shaking is greatly reduced, and the resulting motion is almost gentle, which means that the risk of damage to the building, as well as injury from falling objects, is greatly reduced.
You know, I really felt the power of the earthquake, especially when the system was turned off. It was pretty scary. But when it was turned on, it was moving, but it wasn't frightening at all. The system definitely offers peace of mind.
Next, let's take a look at an altogether more simple solution for earthquake damage prevention. Two low-friction fluorocarbon polymer sheets are sandwiched between a waterproof layer below, which covers the ground, and a protective upper layer that is in direct contact with the foundation. The system reduces the damage caused by earthquakes because the two sheets can slide over each other freely. This means that the shaking felt inside is effectively limited to that of a level 5 quake on the Japanese seismic scale. Here's a demonstration, first with the system disabled.
Okay, whoa, that's pretty serious shaking. Oh, my! Whoa.
When the blocks are removed, the sheets slide freely.
Well, with the blocks removed, well, even though it's not quite as effective as the major size system we saw before, it does work well, and it's very cost effective.
This Japanese university is currently developing a radar-based disaster prevention system. Their research also has possible applications for finding buried landmines. Primarily intended for landslide detection, this system uses a special type of radar known as SAR, or synthetic aperture radar. SAR is ordinarily used in satellites or aircraft for ground observation from above. Their research team has developed a ground-based version that is capable of large-scale monitoring of landslide hotspots from a fixed terrestrial position. The system is currently being used in Miyagi Prefecture in northern Japan to monitor a particularly unstable cliff face. Incredibly accurate, it can detect surface movements as small as 1 centimeter. Let's hear from the lead researcher.
Yeah, now we are doing such a landslide monitoring in Aratozawa, in North Japan. In that area, we had an earthquake in 2008, and more than 20 people were killed. And the local government needs some technique, continuous measurement or the observation of the landslide status. So there are many places in Japan that is suffer from the potential landslide, and we think this kind of technology can be deployed many places in Japan.
This firm is a supplier of components used in building construction. They make and supply all the parts necessary for suspended ceilings, which are common in offices in Japan and around the world. Ceilings like this are also common causes of injuries in earthquakes, as the panels are prone to breakage. However, this particular installation is not as ordinary as it may seem. What makes it unique are a set of special fittings and wires that are meant to prevent such accidents. Even if the panel breaks away completely, there's no risk of falling debris and evacuation routes are kept clear. Toyogi-ken is a manufacturer of water filtration systems. They've developed this emergency use water filtration system that works just like a straw. Its compact design means you can easily keep it in a drawer or even take it with you, so you never have to worry about having clean water to drink. It also comes with a disinfectant to handle possible bacterial contamination.
Well, I got water, and it doesn't taste that bad.
So what if you're not exactly thrilled about drinking dirty water through a straw?
Well, there's also this one, a new product that can be attached to a standard plastic bottle, and all you have to do is squeeze.
This design makes it easy to purify water for later use, or even for cooking.
Not bad. And you know, when an emergency happens, you can never be sure if your tap water is safe, particularly after an earthquake. This seems like a really good idea.
Here's something else worth keeping at home or in the office. It's a safety helmet, which features useful items like a waterproof two-way radio. It gets its power from an external battery.
Hello, hello, come in, come in.
It also includes an LED lamp that can be used for 38 hours straight. It even includes a world band FM radio, so you'll never miss vital emergency broadcasts.
Well, I think this would be a great idea for a neighborhood organization. Each member could keep one in their house, and they could communicate easily in case of a disaster. And be safe, too. Eh? What's that? Let's go take a look.
It turns out the smoke was coming from this emergency evacuation beacon. In the case of a tsunami in particular, it's vital to evacuate low-lying areas as quickly as possible. 1 minute, even 1 second, can mean the difference between life and death. Designed to be installed at tsunami evacuation sites, on high ground or the rooftops of tall buildings, it uses smoke, flashing lights, and a piercing siren to warn the local population as far as 1,000 meters away.
Well, smoke signals have been around forever. But when it comes to conveying information quickly, nothing beats them. It moves at the speed of light.
This firm manufactures components for electrical wiring installation, including conduit. Already in use in 2011, apparently this system helped to prevent damage to underground wiring during the Tohoku earthquake. The way the system works is quite ingenious and yet surprisingly simple. It slides and flexes with the movements of an earthquake, protecting against the breakage, disconnects, and even potential flooding that underground cabling is susceptible to. As you can see in this admittedly tame demonstration, even with a significant shift in the ground level, the cabling contained within is completely protected. Does the system have potential for use overseas?
I understand there are many earthquake risky countries all over the world. For example, Turkish or west coast of US. So if we have a chance, we would like to recommend or design or, of course, manufacture like this piping system for all over the country.
Well, it's impossible to plan for every situation. But when it comes to earthquakes and other disasters, it can be said that Japan is one of the best prepared countries in the world. That's particularly the case after March 11th of 2011. They use new technologies as well as existing ones to be as prepared as is possible. That's all for today. I'm Brian Hughes reporting. I'll see you next time. Stay safe.
Thanks, Brian. Although the earthquake and tsunami 3 years ago may have been one of the most devastating in recorded history, it certainly won't be the last. There's nothing we can do about that. But it's good to know that there are companies out there doing what they can to help us prepare. Nature gives us blessings and trials. The people of northeastern Japan have had to endure the most challenging of trials.